I'm calling this episode number 29, or in season 2, episode 14 of Audacious Freedom, the podcast. I'm calling it My Little Family Loses Its Shit Around Dinner Time. Almost every single day, my little family starts to lose its shit right around time for dinner. This is somewhere between about 4 or 4:30 and 6 or 6:30, depending on the day. And our little guy, Bogie, our 15-year-old pug, our geriatric little man, is usually the one to start it. Just when I have another hour or two to go in my workday, that's when Bogie's little 12 pounds body starts to tell him it's mealtime. The veterinarians and the doggie neurologists say that his circadian rhythm is off because of his doggie dementia. They don't actually say Bogie has dementia. They call it CDS or something like that, for cognitive disorder syndrome. And it messes with his body clock and wakes him up at about 4 a.m., demanding his breakfast. And about 12 hours later, he's demanding his dinner. Mind you, about half the time, probably more than half, Bogie does get his breakfast shortly after 4 a.m. After I carry him outside, remove his diaper cover and his disposable diaper, and I toss the wet disposable diaper in the trash. Often for that first quote unquote walk or pee of the morning, and that's also quote unquote morning, some would argue 4 a.m. is still nighttime. Bogie also surprises me with some poop hiding inside his diaper cover. So I drop that into the garbage can, his outdoor diaper pail, really, and set aside the diaper cover to be thrown into the washing machine later in the day once we've gotten to 4 dirty diaper covers. I often don't mind the 4 a.m. wake up quote unquote calls from Bogie. I'm a morning person by nature, and I go to bed by 9 p.m. And I have always liked the quiet of early mornings before the rest of the world around me is up. And by the time I take Bogie out, clean him with a baby wipe, and put him in a new disposable diaper, a clean diaper cover, and do all his medications and vitamins and supplements and feed him and clean up after all that, I get myself ready for the day. And by 5 or 6 a.m., I can be taking care of administrative things for our household and or writing and recording podcast episodes. And when Bogie is barking and quote unquote yelling at me to go out, well, to get fed at 4 a.m., I'm not usually agitated with him. I'm awake and rested, and I turn on the coffee pot I've gotten ready the night before, and I enjoy the smell of freshly brewing coffee in the otherwise quiet of the early morning. And of course, I forgive Bogie for his doggy dementia, and I bless and thank him for every day that he's with us, for every day he still has his voracious appetite. Because the day that dog loses his appetite is the day I will lose mine. If Bogie ever doesn't want to eat, I will know he's very sick. Anyway, the 4 a.m. yelling for breakfast is okay. What's often not okay for me is the 4 or 4:30 p.m. starting to bark and yell and panic while my daughter is getting home from the school bus stop, while I finish a few more things for my workday. From his little doggy bed and little house in the kitchen, which is off of my office or the den, Bogie starts up. His little body tells him it's time. And I can't trick his little body. I know because I have tried. I have tried to trick his little body by waiting in the morning to feed him as quote unquote late as 5 or 6 or even 7 a.m. Doesn't matter. By 4 p.m., unless he is miraculously sleeping, the panic sets in. Bogie goes from 0 to 60 in seconds flat. Here's my Bogie impression. Bang, bang, scratch, scratch at the metal door to his little house. Bang, bang, scratch, scratch, clang, clang. And there are a few things that are different at the 4 to 4:30 p.m. hour versus the 4 to 4:30 a.m. hour. 1, Bogie's yelling and pawing at the doggy house door is desperate. He's truly panicking as if his next meal depends on how persuasive he is. 2, my daughter is home from school and needs my attention to tell me about her day and for me to listen. 3, my daughter is hungry and thirsty and probably needs to pee pretty badly because she doesn't like to use the bathrooms at school. 4, she's just been carrying her very heavy backpack, which includes her school-issued laptop, not a lightweight one, a library book or 2, and an umbrella or 2. And this very heavy backpack might also get caught on her very long and beautiful hair as she takes off the backpack and sets it down inside the house by the garage door. 5, and somehow my daughter's heavy backpack, the backpack getting caught on her hair, her having to pee, and her hunger and thirst are my fault. I have a drink and snacks ready for her. The thirst and the hunger I can do something about, but I just have to get the hell out of her way on the backpack and the hair thing and clear the way for her to go to the bathroom. All the while, I've got Bogie in the background, growing in intensity in his panic. Ragh, ragh, whoa. Scratch, scratch, clang, clang. Ragh, ragh, whoa, whoa. Scratch, scratch, clang, clang. So I've got my daughter mad at me because she's thirsty, hungry, has to pee, and she's fighting with her backpack and hair. And I'm trying to wrap up my workday over the next hour or 2, and Bogie is officially freaking the fuck out. And now I'm starting to realize that I'm getting hungry, often not having eaten all day. So while my daughter is drinking and snacking, I turn to Bogie to get the noise to stop. I take him out of his little doggy house and carry him outside, probably for the 4th time of the day at this point. And while I'm carrying him, he stops the barking and yelling, and he might be panting a little bit, having worked himself up. And he might even turn his little face toward me and give me a quick kiss on the neck or cheek, as if to say only briefly, "Thanks, Mama." I melt for a second, give him a little squeeze, and I do the whole diaper cover, disposable diaper thing, go out the back gate and set him down in the grass to at least pee before bringing him back in, doing the baby wipe thing, putting on a new disposable diaper and a clean diaper cover. Then no sooner than when I put him back in his doggy house, so that he doesn't fucking hurt himself while I prepare his evening meds, supplements, and dinner, he starts back up even more desperate than before. Rah, rah, wah, wah. Scratch, scratch, clang, clang. By now, my daughter is no longer thirsty or starving, and she's used the bathroom, and she's forgotten about her hair getting caught on her backpack. Now, my daughter wants to chit chat with the Tasmanian Devil in the background. Rah, rah, wah, wah. Scratch, scratch, clang, clang. So my kid is no longer losing her shit. Bogie is full on losing his shit. And now I start to lose my shit. Bogie, stop! I yell. Stop it! I can only get your meds and dinner ready so fast. Your yelling at me does not make me go any faster. In fact, it slows me the fuck down. I now know I have completely lost it because I'm yelling over a dog who's yelling at me in a panic which he cannot control. And even if he could, he sure doesn't understand what I'm saying. Sometimes during all this racket, my daughter will go upstairs and start on her homework. Sometimes she'll try to continue speaking to me, telling me about her school day while I'm racing against the clock to feed and therefore quiet the Tasmanian Devil. And God forbid, if my kid thinks I'm not fully listening to her, I might also get an earful from her. You only care about Bogie and yourself, she might say, and storm off. And now I'm a combination of pissed off and defeated. Pissed off because my daughter is so privileged and so well taken care of. And she's in 6th grade now, old enough to know that at this time of day, once Bogie thinks it's dinner time and he starts the panic drill, there's no doing anything else until he's taken out and his dinner is put in front of him. I have no fucking choice. And I'm pissed off because rather than helping me and getting all his meds and supplements and food out while I carry him outside and back in for the cleaning and rediapering for the 4th or 5th time, goddamn time of the day, my daughter is giving me a hard time. How can she be mad at me for putting our geriatric dog first? How can she possibly say that I only care about Bogie and myself? What the fuck? All damn day, she's in the back of my mind as I plan our evenings and weekends and take care of our household. My daughter is the reason I do everything I do for our household. And so I'm defeated, as I said, pissed off and defeated. Defeated because by this time, I'm so agitated from the sounds that were coming out of Bogie and his little house. But now he's eating, scarfing down his food, wet food, mind you, canned pumpkin and canned medicated food for his kidneys, wet food that he might step in, and that is often on at least one of his ears. But he's quiet now, and I'm almost done with Bogie for the next 4 or 5 hours before his bedtime last pee and poop. He's quiet, and usually so is my daughter. And by this time, she may have even apologized to me. And I say I'm sorry too for my outburst at Bogie. And I laugh at myself for losing my shit. And I know I'm not acting right because I'm hungry And I start working on dinner and know that once I've cleaned the food off of Bogie and his dish and the mat under his dish and put him and his full little belly back in his doggy house, I'll eat too and I'll feel better. And I'll try to think if there is some way, any way at all, to break the cycle of my family losing its shit around dinner time. We do sometimes break the cycle, not for Bogie, but for my daughter and me, by ordering dinner in or by me going out for an early dinner, giving my daughter some space and bringing dinner back home for her. A bit of distance between us is a good thing. And I'm far less agitated with Bogie once I'm fed first. And he doesn't yell and panic when I'm not home, even if it is his dinner time. He might not see or hear well, but I'm convinced Bogie can sense my presence. Maybe he smells me. Anyway, we sometimes break the cycle. And if any of you listeners have any other ideas, please message me. And there goes the notebook again. Crack me up.